Hey, good evening. What's up, everybody? Good evening. It is Tuesday. Welcome to the It's Your Fault series through the Real Life Relationship Growth Platform. I hope you guys have had a good week so far. I know it's only Tuesday. The week has been hitting already. Had a great day today. Wink, wink. No, I did. I had a great day outside of a few issues that I'm gonna let the Lord handle, and then I'm gonna be right behind them handling it. All right, let me introduce the crew. Welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Get Together, chat it up, have a good time, get these topics going. We are here. We are here. I'm going to bring the team on board. I'm gonna bring them on camera. Got to introduce, of course, of course, of course. First, originally, my girl, Miss Corey B, the educator.
Hey,
Ooh, ladies first.
ladies first. Ooh, ladies first. Ladies first. It's crazy how that song sets off the guys. It's
I know. Yeah, it does. It does. Y'all just don't know in the background. But they'll be all right. Matter of fact, the one that complains the most, I'm gonna bring him on last. Wait a minute. That's all of them. Yeah, he's coming on last. Let me bring on Mr. Tony of Uniquely Made. What up, cuzzo? Why is he?
I just wanted to give y'all a glimpse of what my face looks like every time they sing that song in the background.
I should have brought you on last.
But I'm here, people. I'm here. Let's get it in. Let's start some fires. Let's have some conversations. Let's do it.
Let me move along. Hello, Mark.
Hey, what's happening?
Mr. Mark of Date Night Online.
Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. How are you?
You know what the best part of that song? The best part of that song, though, for real, y'all, it's when y'all done with it. That's the best part of the song.
I knew he was going to say that. Right. It's a little hater.
When y'all finish, that's the best part of that song.
Corey, you feel that?
All right.
I do.
A little bit hater in
exactly.
here? Yeah. I thought I cold. Come down.
But y'all know you be rehearsing. Y'all know how to rehearse y'all acts when y'all come on this thing.
Anyway, and last, but possibly least. What up, hater? I mean, Jimmy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I love that song.
What's going on?
What's going on? I actually love that song. I really do. I just like it when it's sung correctly. That's it. I mean, when there's some harmony, some unison, something going on.
I like the silent version. I like the silent version they do.
Corey. Till next week, sister.
Of course. Right back at it.
Next week, right back at it. We're gonna be right back at it.
Oh man.
All right, y'all. Of course, we are on episode 6. We are on episode 6 of the It's Your Fault series. We are in the talks and in the works of possibly extending this thing. If y'all want us to extend this thing, let us know. Give us some input, some info. Let us know what y'all would like us to do. But talking as a group, I think we would really, really like to continue this, have this thing to continue on. So I'm going to play. We don't have a scenario that I'm going to say tonight. I'm going to play the video. This is our scenario. This is going to be our topic, our discussion. I'll play it again, probably about halfway through this, so we can kind of refresh, regroup, and come back, especially for those who come in a little late. All right, here we go.
Of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
Tell me.
Listen, there's not a lot of good men who want y'all. I'm clapping for myself. Where the good men at? Like they hiding under a rocker in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at Equinox. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we're not looking at you. But there's plenty good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. When have you ever heard a woman admit to not being shit? She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. But for the most part, every woman think they're a good woman. What makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself. Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil.
Woohoo!
My
Listen.
toes hurt.
Huh?
It felt like somebody stumped on some feet around here, boy. No. But I want to ask this question though, Donna.
Uh-huh.
And everybody on the panel. Did you all see the facial expression of all the women once he started to articulate?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Did
Absolutely.
any of those faces look like I don't agree with you? Or did they all look like, oh crap, he called us?
You came down my lane.
Right.
Knocked on
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And so there, you know, obviously there was some truth to what he said. You know what I'm saying? And they all resonated with it because they either resonated with it on a personal level or indirect level where they saw it in someone else.
Yeah.
But they did not. That once he started articulating what he meant, they were like, crap. Like, yeah.
There was no
My lady
rebuttal.
was even just doing this.
Or they were like this.
Right.
Like,
Don't
you gonna
look to
say
me.
something?
I really want to hear what the ladies have to say in rebuttal to this. If I'm being completely 100% honest to what he had to say, and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that because I really want to hear what y'all have to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add with that too, I also want to know if some of what he said was true. Just from the lady's perspective, I want to hear it.
So,
Was some of it true? Anything he said was truth to you?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Which part?
All of it.
Okay.
Yeah, all of it. Because, well, let me say this.
Can you give me specifics of all of it? Like what part?
I,
Yeah, don't be
I'm gonna
dancing.
let,
Come on, JoJo
Yeah,
dancing. I
Mark,
want to know
Mark,
exactly.
let me take the last
Shall
one.
I play
Wait
it
a minute,
again?
Oh, no,
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 I'm
hold on, wait a
asking
minute.
her for what
Wait a
part
minute.
exactly.
Wait
did
a
she
minute. Hold on, Mark.
Shall I play it again?
Oh,
Hold on, DJ. Hold on.
Go ahead.
I just want them to answer real quick how they felt about it in general before they
Right.
get to the specific questions.
Right, there it is. Then that order. Here's him first and me, okay?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mhm.
I would have been sitting on the couch like, say that, brother. Say that. Say that. Say
Okay.
that. Say that. I agreed with everything he said. Now, there are women out here. I can't say all women, or we've never heard a woman say they're nothing. I've heard it as a teacher, and it's sad to hear a parent say, I'm not this, they're not going to be this. That's sad. But I've heard that before. Oh, but I know a deadbeat mother related to her. Tell everybody else, watch out for her, watch your pockets, hide everything. No, that's not the friend you want. And no bones about it. There are plenty of women who are not good. That's just what it is. And if they're honest, they'll tell you.
I can say I totally agree as well. Sitting there listening to it, I never took a moment to be like, he got his nerve. I didn't. And with him saying you'll never find a woman that's saying she ain't shit, in the context of what the video was saying as far as related to a man,
Okay.
I can say I've never heard a woman say that.
Right.
In that context, I've heard women say, you know, like you, Corey, in the realm of education and having conferences or whatever. I've heard women say before, well, I ain't nothing, so they ain't gonna be nothing. You know, I've heard things like that before. But in the context of the video, what she was saying, I can never say.
We will.
We'll play it
Yeah,
again.
Paul's
Yeah,
asking to
we'll
play it again.
Yeah, we'll
Now
play it
I've
again.
heard it said. I've heard it said, but
In the context of a relationship, you've heard a woman say that?
absolutely.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I used to. So I used to be a part of a different community,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, people say all types of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when we think of it as a whole, like collectively,
Oh,
how that's not
yeah,
that's,
not very often.
that's not
Maybe
So
something
0.5%.
you never heard
Yeah.
a woman say there's no good men out here? Is that what you're saying? You never heard?
that themselves are
A
not,
woman saying themselves that they ain't
Yeah.
nothing.
they ain't no
Oh
good
yeah.
men.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But what about the part where she was talking about no good men? Do y'all agree with that? That
Yeah,
sentiment that she was saying in the beginning, what it actually started off with? Like, what y'all viewpoint on that?
Absolutely not. That's ridiculous.
No,
That's
yeah,
absolutely-
there's no good men. The men she may have, and the men necessarily, particularly that we experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna walk this thing down with that. It's very possible that the experience that this particular person may have had with the type of men that she had her experiences with can say they ain't no good. He wasn't this, and men ain't this. And that. But the generalization of
Mhm.
all men is wrong.
Yeah. The pool of good men is
Mhm.
is
Right. There are no good men. That's when you have to start checking yourself. But again, it comes over to you ain't gonna say you choosing these knuckleheads because you a knucklehead. You choosing, you coming along, you dealing with these men that you're giving chances to, or there's something about him that attracted you. Because as a woman, I want a man that stands solid and firm. That's what I want. I want a man that speaks on business, and sometimes people look at that and they be like, "Oh, I want a thug, and I wanted this, and I wanted that." I don't necessarily want a thug, but I want somebody who can stand on business when he needs to stand on business.
You want
define
edge.
business.
You want edge.
Free,
Edge.
Well,
protected,
I'm
provided.
saying if something goes down, right? If standing on business just means to me with that, if something goes down, he has my back, and I don't have to be worried, concerned, or afraid that
When
No,
you
no.
say something, define something.
He
You
had
find
your back
something?
smartly.
Yeah, that's me asking you.
What you say, Corlin?
Define something. That's what he asking you.
Oh,
He
define
has your back. He
something.
has your back smartly.
Yeah,
That's
what
I
would
said.
he potentially need to have your back on that would give you the indication that he's solid and
Right.
that he's standing on business? That's what I want to know.
Okay. One example.
Mhm.
One example. If I'm in a situation or position that I can't handle something, if I can't, okay, let's go financially,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
If I'm in a situation or position that I can't handle something financially and I need some help, just
Mhm.
one example,
Mhm.
and I can go to him and say, "Babe, I'm short. I can't do this. I need that. I need help with this." Regardless of what he has, regardless of his dollar amount or whatever. If he says to me, "Babe, I got you. We're going to do whatever we got to do to get what you need." That for me is standing on business. One example of standing on business.
Got it. Now I agree to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
It would be my differentiating factor. If you are a woman that stands on business
Mm-hmm.
and you are normally good with your finances and some unforeseen situation happened
Mm-hmm.
and I'm your man, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not a person that is financially sound,
Correct.
you ain't gonna get got.
Correct. I'm just
I guess I won't be standing on business because that's you know what I'm saying. So
No, I agree with that.
because I think a lot of women will say something similar, but they won't add those nuances in there.
Right.
And then they get pissed when the man puts those nuances in there. Bro,
Right.
look, I don't give money to my brother who bad with money. This
Mm-hmm.
Negro don't pay his bills, but he'll go shopping. That's stupid.
Right.
How you got, a Louis bag, but you can't pay your cable bill?
Okay.
I don't
Right.
want to hear that. That you already showing me that you are reckless with your finances. So no, I'm not your Captain Saver. I'm not in that scenario. So I guess I wouldn't be standing on business. However, if you are a solid woman, you are good with your finances. And like I said, some unforeseen situation happened, you wouldn't even have to ask me because it's going to get handled because you're my girl. And I want my girl to be good because I know my girl typically handles her business. And this was something that was out of her control.
Right.
That's a done deal. And I venture to say a lot of men feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're probably not going to get a mature man to help you when he recognizes you have a bad pattern of behavior when it comes to finances. And you can try to dog him out all you want because he didn't come to your rescue. But at the end of the day,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. And you know why he ain't helping you. So don't try to act like he broke anyway. No, you broke. That's because you need money.
Right.
Yeah,
So of course this was my example, an answer to a question.
Somebody said Captain Saver who?
Yeah, I mean,
Lady.
so basically, what everybody's basically in layman's terms is more so, whatever you run into is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Right? You are actually reflecting who you are. If you run into a certain broken individual, you may be broken. If you keep running into a person that may be whatever, you may be that. You know, that's where it starts first. Just to start there first. It's my
Mark. Stop it, Bart.
I'm
Mark,
just saying.
Stop throwing out them nuggets like that, Mark.
Hey,
they say birds of a feather. What?
flock together. Hey, man.
Yeah. We call them
just
trauma
nursery
bonds
rhyme.
in my arena. We call those trauma bonds.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah. Y'all got something. Yeah, something that's drawing y'all together.
Right.
Dysfunctions draw people together too.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know what? I think that was the biggest part of me becoming a man when I had to realize coming out of my particular situation, I was attracting a certain type of woman. I could have fell into that state of saying, well, you know, a whole bunch of broken women out here, but I really had to go back and reanalyze myself. So not only I can definitely agree with, you know, what everybody's saying, I can definitely tell you that I lived it and I see the results of it now.
Donna, we got a lot of people wanting that video played again. So can you play it again so people can get the context of what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it again. I was waiting for Mr. Mark to finish.
Yes.
Mark throwing out some good nuggets there, boy.
All right, here we go.
Of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
Tell me.
Listen, there's not a lot of good men who want y'all. I'm clapping for myself. Where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rocker in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at Equinox. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we not looking at you. But there's plenty good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. When have you ever heard a woman admit to not being shit? She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. But for the most part, every woman think they're a good woman. What makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself. Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil.
Let me tell y'all something. It's almost like what you can't even really, their facial expression and their body languages once he started talking told everything.
They did.
Now, and here's something else that I love to mention when it comes to conversations like this. We have to learn how to be emotionally intelligent and emotionally mature. Everything that's truthful and good for you doesn't always feel good.
Right.
Some of our you know how we have kids that have growth spurts. Our greatest growth spurts in life come through pain. And the pain that we experience is acknowledging that we're probably not as good as we thought we were.
And you touched on this last week.
Yes. When we come to that realization, crap, man, I, you know, I thought I was better than that, or whatever, and then when you acknowledge that you need work, that's when you can start to work on something. But if you never can admit something's wrong with you, you will never change.
Right.
That's just a fact.
Right.
Who changes when they don't believe nothing's wrong with them?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Life.
Yeah,
What they
so
say? What they say? Life and death is. We already know what that means, right? It's in the power of you know what.
yeah,
What you
I mean,
say.
but he hit,
What you
he hit
think.
the nail dead on the head. It's like, listen, if you are really a good man, who can confirm that? Who? Somebody should be able, somebody that you was in a relationship with should be able to say, you know what, Jimmy was a good dude. Unfortunately, we just didn't vibe together, but I can't say he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cortland is a good dude, Mark is a good, somebody that I was in a relationship with should be able to verify that, right? But notice how they look when he said, ask them people that you used to date. All them heads drop. Because you know what them folks gonna say. Because you know how you are. You know what I'm saying? And men are the same way. This is not just isolated to women. Men do the exact same thing. Men do the exact same thing. I guarantee you, between the three of us, the males on this panel, I guarantee you we can think of about 50 dudes we know ragged in a mug. We know about 50 dudes we would not introduce to a woman whom we believe is a good woman.
No, I stay out of it. I stay.
You know what I'm
out of it.
saying? No, I'm saying introduce. I
No,
ain't
that's what I'm
saying,
saying. I just
yeah.
right. Even from the introduction.
Yeah. I'm because
This
you
what I
already
do.
know. You already know what you're dealing with, and it's like,
Right.
nah, I ain't.
Mm-hmm.
I stay
So
neutral.
Paul Rogers is actually Claudette, female that's responding. I'm never gonna say that I ain't shit. Ever am I capable of doing something shitty things? Yes. Am I capable of doing some shitty things? Yes.
Well, Paul, I think you. I understand from your perspective, but we're not talking about someone having the ability to do something wrong. We're talking about
Right.
a person that has a pattern of behavior of always doing something wrong.
Right. Right.
That's what we're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, from the male perspective, if all you do is run through women, that's all you do. You know what I'm saying? You play them to the left. You get all you can get out of them. You're like a succubus. You just take.
SAT word.
That's what we're talking about right there. We're talking about that type of individual.
Right. Right.
Okay. There's a question on that. There's a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we need other people to confirm whether we are good or bad, isn't that a problem? Don't we know ourselves and can't lie to yourself? Not really. You can't lie to yourself. Not really.
Well, no. You shouldn't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of people lie to themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
You shouldn't lie to yourself, Paul, but a lot of people lie to themselves, literally.
Yeah.
And no, you don't need anyone to confirm whether you are good or bad. We're talking about from the context of you're always in a failed relationship, but you keep saying you are a good woman or a good man. That's what we're talking about from that lens. So even let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you are a good man or a good woman, but you keep going through all these failed relationships. Maybe you are a good man or a good woman who does not know how to pick a significant other. So there's still room for growth in that person's life.
Right.
At some point, you got to stop trusting yourself when it comes to relationships. And you got to go back and do a deep dive into why you keep choosing the wrong type person.
Yep.
So I wanna kind of break down the very beginning of what the clip was talking about. The young lady first said there's not a big pool of good men, which means she wasn't actually generalizing. She was just saying that if you looked at it like a number, let's say a number of 100, let's just say maybe she was saying that 80% weren't good and 20% were good. Because she said there wasn't a big pool, so that means that more than half are not good, right?
Yeah, that's what she
and
said.
then-
But where is she getting that pool from? Where is she getting that experience from?
Right.
Her
And I
own
was,
pool-
I was
her-
just
her
curious.
own pool.
She getting that from
Her
her
own
own
pool.
pool. That's her personal interactions.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute.
Or she's getting it, or she's jumping on the bandwagon of women that are saying this.
Or her friend circle, yes. Mhm.
Right. So it could be a combination of both. It could be your friend circle who are all experiencing the same thing, which means you probably need to change your circle. And two, your own life experiences of what you've gone through and what you are dealing with and the people that you've come across, right?
Right.
So, all right, so I'm gonna touch on that for a minute before I go to the next point. So let's stay there for a minute, right? As men, like you said, each one of us know 50 brothers that we wouldn't dare say, hey, let me introduce you to
50?
such and such. Whatever.
I mean,
that's
that's on the low end.
So if Jimmy's saying 50, there's 3 of us. That's 150 men, right? So now if each one of them 150 men got 50 more men times 150 men, we're probably looking at 150,000, right? If my math is somewhere correct. I don't know. Could be close. Might be more. So that is quite a big pool of men who aren't presenting themselves in a great light to women. So going off that, does she have an argument?
No, she does not.
Okay.
Because in order for her argument to be legit, she would have had to have pooled a large number of men to come to that conclusion. Does that make sense?
Right, but we already said that her friend circle, and her, you know what I'm saying? That's all she knows to pull from. So
Right.
until
So-
somebody comes
so
in
what-
and says, "Hey,
Give us an
you need to pull
imaginary
from over
number of
here."
how many men that would be.
Oh, let's say
Between
she's
her and her pool of people.
Let's say she's in her 30s.
Mhm.
Let's say she's in her 30s. These are not all the men she's dated. These are just the men that she's encountered.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say if she's in her 30s, she's probably had at least upwards close to encounter with at least 500 men in her 30s.
No.
In her 30s.
You know what?
Well,
That's that girl you were talking about a couple shows ago. That was
I'm trying to get this back.
No, I'm not.
Hold on, bro. I was
listen,
with you.
He was
Yeah,
in
you
the
blew a
back.
circuit,
No.
bro. You blew a circuit
getting
in my
ran
brain.
through.
No, listen,
That's a lie.
listen. Okay, did y'all maybe y'all misunderstand what I'm saying? I didn't
No,
say
I hear
been
you,
with.
but the
I didn't say
numbers
been
and
with.
555.
I'm just saying.
Look,
I'm just
you're
saying
just saying-
encounter. Like hey, how you doing? That's an encounter. I'm not saying been with.
Right,
But
right.
here's
I know
the
what you're
problem,
saying.
though. Here's the problem.
Yeah, I know
That-
what you're
that
saying.
That guy
We've
wouldn't
encountered.
count. That
He
guy
wouldn't count, though.
Cortland. Cortland,
Yeah,
that
he
guy
wouldn't
wouldn't
count.
count. Because
wouldn't
how
count.
would
No.
she determine if
So
he's no good?
Let's go back to the first conversation that we had the very first week that we were doing this. And we talked about, Corey, I'm going to use you for example. We talked about how Corey was walking away from work and the guy approached her and at the wrong time. And he was trying to be aggressive about meeting her. She was like, brother, I'm good. In that situation, this brother is on the wrong time. He ain't no good. That's an encounter. He's in that category because even if he came correct 3 or 4 days later, he's not going to get a chance with Corey because he already messed up his first opportunity by trying to come at her in the middle of the night while she's trying to walk to her car. She's trying to get off work and it's dark. So that's an encounter. So that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah, but she wasn't talking about encounters. She was talking about relationships.
Yeah.
So we can't make it something it's not.
Right.
We have to stick with what she said.
How do we know
not
she was talking about a relationship though? Because we didn't hear that. We're assuming.
So Cortland, if she's talking about a good pool of men to
Official
choose
community
from,
share.
she ain't talking about just encounters. She's talking about being in a relationship with.
Right.
That's
right.
that's
I
not-
think it's more than
it's
that,
not
guys. I think it's more than that, and I say that because in order to consider somebody for a relationship, you have to encounter them first.
No, we're not
So
arguing that, but it has to
okay,
go deeper than an encounter to determine he is not fit for a relationship.
Right. Right. There has to be some type of time spent in there. It's not just
Right.
this is this guy I met, and even somebody that may work somewhere that you go all the time. You
I hear
encounter
y'all
him
on that.
because you see him at work all the time, but until you have some personal,
I hear y'all on that, but there are women who think like that, and I guarantee you, this woman that was on this video, she thinks like that.
And
I
that's
get
why
your point.
I think I see where Cortland's
I
coming
see
from.
your point, Cortland. I see your point. It's like every man you run into, you're gauging him in some type of way, which is unfair, not realistic. You're gauging him in some type of way. But with this video, based on the gentleman's response, I think it's fair.
That's the point I was going to get to next. That's the point I was going to get to next. Because now the gentleman is saying, look, there's good guys at Vortex and there's good guys here, but her encounter with the guy at Vortex was not what she wanted, so she automatically lumps him in the not good guy category.
See, yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying?
No, I get you, but let's look at again. I know sometimes you like playing the devil's advocate, right?
Right.
And sometimes I think you take that a little too far, but like this time. Because if when the dude started explaining, if he wasn't hitting the nail on the head, they would have had a rebuttal.
Right.
Well, that video was also highly edited. Let's keep it real.
Right.
Hey,
so we don't know what the rebuttals were. We just know that the video was highly edited.
Well, let me tell you what was not highly edited. Their body language and facial expressions.
That was highly edited. Trust me. We don't know when that body language was. We just know we saw it in the video.
But I will say this, edited or not, his speech looked like it was in two parts. From one, when he was saying they're here, they're there, and then when he was saying, I ain't never seen a woman say she ain't shit, right? In his speech, he wasn't interrupted because we would have heard that. There's no way you can edit voices over not with what they were doing. Not with, I'm sure their podcasts, they're not doing that. But he had a long little thing there.
Joy is
oh my gosh.
What's up, Joy?
Lord.
He got that off his chest. And they couldn't say anything.
Right. Well, that's why I was saying I wanted to see the full video because that was just a reel. On a reel, you can kind of edit that thing in the way you want to.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? To make it sound and look the way that you want it to look. And I'm not disputing what the brother was saying. I'm not saying he was getting the point. All I'm saying is I'm just trying to give us more context to think about. And usually that type of woman that was speaking in that situation, she's not looking at relationships because 9 times out of 10, she never even got to a relationship. She's looking at the encounters that she has with men and the type of men that she automatically putting them in a box. And
I see where
saying
he's
that,
coming from.
Yeah, me too. That's why
this ain't no good guy.
No, I see where he's coming from. Even for him to pivot to that side, I can see what he was just kind of broadening the context of the video. I see why. Because for a minute, brother, you know what I'm saying? I was like, when you start doing the 550, we'll only make it to the land of whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said not people she's been with, man.
Yeah, but that. If you have a woman or a man, for that matter, that is thinking that way, they will never win.
Right.
Because first of all, if you haven't gotten to know a person, you cannot make a determination on what type of individual that person really is. And you have to also consider this based on Cortland's theory. You got to consider all the men that may have tried to approach her and she just wasn't attracted to. She didn't already rule them out.
Right.
And she don't know if they were good or not.
Or the job they had, or the car they drove.
My point exactly. So what we're saying is, and what that dude said was, and this is the other thing that we discussed before we went on air. You have to look at all those factors to give credibility or discredit what she was saying and to affirm what that other guy was saying. Because what the guy was saying was, how many men have these women looked at that didn't meet a certain criteria with the eye test? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't wearing brand name clothes. He wasn't driving a brand name car, or whatever, he didn't look a certain way. So they instantly he probably was even invisible to them. They probably didn't even notice it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't sit here and say there aren't any good men. There are good men, but then you also have to account for the good men who may have met all of the criteria that she has for a man, but when he saw her, he was like,
Mm-mm.
I heard her talking.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I see how she dressed.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
so you can't. That's just like men can't go around here, man. Ain't no good women. No. It's just the women you are running into and the women you're potentially attracted to.
Mhm.
How you in a strip club talking about there ain't no good women? Duh.
Mm.
I mean,
Mm.
they ain't loyal. Like, of course, look where you at. I mean, yeah. I mean, what's gonna be the odds you about to pick you a diamond out of the rough there? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on, bro. I mean, we have to be honest with ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Diamond is rough in there. You right. Diamond is definitely rough.
Oh man. Listen, I know Joy. Joy. I don't know if Joy saw the video, but if she see that video, I know Joy gonna have some comments. I know.
Yeah, Joy, you was late. You right. You was late, Joy. You missed the video. Oh yes, Corey. Go ahead, babe. I saw your hand.
And real quick too, like if y'all watching it, like the video, share it. You know that helps.
Oh yes.
Hey, can we drop the video in the comments?
Yeah, drop the video in the comments. Donna, copy it. She said I didn't see it. Dang. Yeah, can you copy the link and just drop it in the comments so everybody can look at it at their own pace and then they can kind of know what we're discussing.
So one thing I like about the video, well, I know what she's talking about when she's saying there's no good men. She's talking about undesirables as well as her experience. So the undesirable may be for her, the man down the street with one arm who might own a business, but she likes to be held a lot. So that might not work for her. She might be talking about the dude that's not dressing the way she likes him to dress. But I want to say one thing. People always say, men are visual. Men are visual. So are we. Everything she was talking about. Jimmy, leave me alone. Everything she was talking about. It's visual. A lot of it's visual. We are visual creatures too. We want y'all to look some kind of way.
We sure are.
Us.
We sure are.
Right.
Right.
But you're not lit. It's the difference is you guys.
Hold on. Who told you that?
No, yeah.
Who told you that?
Yeah, come on.
Because you see a pretty woman.
You don't think that women are led by what you say, Mark? You said you don't think women
I said, well, I didn't. But first of all, I'm trying to process it. I haven't decided that or not.
Hold on, yeah.
But what I'm saying to you is that I'm sure y'all have some type of vision you like to see. I think women are very tangible. They like to see things, right? I can definitely say that.
Y'all are all right being visual, but when we say we need you to be 6 feet tall, come on, man. Like we're visual too.
Kevin said, "Come on, Corey."
I think women are more visual than men are nowadays. If we're being honest about it,
women have always been more visual.
Yeah,
they just now are vocal about it.
But we had to always look for the other things that come along with it.
So you women have always been visual, but they didn't.
I wouldn't disagree.
Just like men have always been visual,
not women.
But the deal is, they are now vocal about it now. They're telling you what they've always thought. They just saying it now. Back in the day, women didn't say it. They were tactful enough not to say it. You know what I'm saying?
No, tall, dark, and handsome has always been a thing, but they meant dark-skinned white people, not black people. But tall, dark, and handsome has always been out there.
The entire package matters. Keisha said the entire package matters.
Absolutely, but it seems to be okay for men to be visual, but not women.
Keisha said it right on. She said the entire package matters, but we all are attracted initially by visual. That's because visual. I mean, yeah, nobody.
Well, are they led by? But are they more so led?
Though.
I guess my question.
He said led.
Okay, my question would be:
we're going to act a whole nother way. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Can I get the question out? I haven't even formulated the question before you answer it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Jeez. So my question is, and I'm just trying to get an understanding. My question is, so we're saying that women are more visual than men are? Are we led by vision more? I'm just asking.
We didn't say
Like,
that.
is that what leads us for the most part? As you know,
Yeah, we're not
I'm sure
saying that they're
y'all are
more
visual.
visual. We're just saying that they are
Oh
equally.
no. I'm asking that. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
that.
I think they are.
That's I'm talking clarification.
Yeah,
I
they're
think they are
equally.
nowadays.
He said things. Yeah,
I think they're equally visual. Yes,
equally
I'm 50.
visual.
I'm
Okay.
54 years old. I'll be 55 in August, right? I can clearly remember when I was going to the clubs, and me and say I'm walking in the club and it's 4 dudes behind me. You could clearly see the one guy that the women were looking at with their mouths open, and you could clearly see the men who they were not even remotely trying to make eye contact with. So they're equally as visual as we are.
I would say more so now than back in the day, though, because going off what Jimmy was just saying, the guy who had the right amount of game was the one who was able to go home with the woman. Now, it don't matter what your game is. You know what I'm saying? Because she's looking at you from the shoe game to the top of your head. You know, and she's assessing all that nowadays. To where back then, it was just like, yeah, you could have one guy that stood out, but if my gift of gab was better and I approached her at the bar and I could make her laugh and all that other kind of good stuff, then you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, back then she was gone. Now that don't necessarily work so much. Now she's
Right.
factoring a whole bunch of other things. That's why I'm saying I think women are more visually led now than they were maybe 20, 30 years ago. I just
Yep.
told my age, but don't know about
Donna, can you put up Joy's comment
Joy.
where it says visual first, substance second?
Mhm.
And for some people that may vary, because I know there's plenty of dudes out here that
And see,
a lot
and what I was doing, I was formulating the question to gain understanding, because sometimes when you hear certain things, you have to go back, filter it to reprogram. So that was more of a question. Never thought about it. You know, I always know what I heard, but I never thought about it. You know what I mean?
But that humor
I
used
can
to
definitely
get him,
see
boy.
those.
That
Well,
humor used to get
Yeah,
him.
that's right.
So Corey, remember
But-
this. Remember this. Even back in the day, we knew this. We knew that the attractive dude was gonna get first dibs. We knew the average looking dude that could make her laugh was gonna get second dibs. That's just how it worked. So that's why most guys learn how to speak and learn how to have a sense of humor, because the lady, they knew you could, you know, once you could make them laugh, you had a chance. You could get in the door. Once you could say something creative, stimulate their brain, you could get a conversation. She may not have looked at you first, but boom, you piqued her curiosity with your words, and now, you know, you got her. We know this for a fact. It is scientifically proven. Women like what they see and what they hear.
Correct. That is correct.
So okay. So with that being said, okay, what they see and hear. So at what point does at some point it has to be where the work is shown.
Yeah, no.
Right?
We're talking about initial.
Right.
We're talking about initial.
Right.
Yeah.
No. What I'm doing, I'm throwing it in. I'm actually processing, but also remember we have people watching us, so I want to just kind of further it just a step further. But yes, I agree.
Yeah, I see. Keisha
I
said
agree.
it. Yeah, because Keisha said, yeah, because you both can be fine as hell, but can't hold a conversation. We out. Because after a while, now something deeper than that initial
It has to,
encounter has to kick in place, right?
Yeah.
Because at first, when you first see somebody, you don't know what their moral value system is.
Right.
You don't know what their value system is. You just going off of straight attraction.
Physical.
Right. You going off of attraction. And then the second thing you're going off of, man, was that a good conversation? You know, they call it vibing now. Well, we was vibing. Back in the day, all we said was conversation was good. We had a great conversation. So we sat next to each other for most of the night, laughing and talking, getting to know each other, right? Well, that leads to date number 2. That leads to date number 1. Now let's do something outside of this initial place where we met. And so now you start to see, do we connect on some other level other than that one night? Was that a one-hitter quitter or whatever, and like Mark was saying, then you go into the deeper things. Okay, are we compatible? Do we like the same things? Blah, 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 blah. We go on down that line. So yeah, but the initial is physical for both male and female.
Let me ask you a question.
Mark, I'm sorry. Mark, can you please share it to my Facebook page?
I couldn't find you for some reason on there. You take it off Corey. Corey, send it over to her. For some reason, I can't.
Video, okay.
Just Corey, just send it over.
So speaking on that, and this was something that we was talking about a little bit earlier in the conversation, as far as like you being the type of people that you date or the type of circle that you're around. Like you may actually be a good person, but you keep attracting the same type people, or you keep dealing with the same type people. So let's say that you meet somebody, you guys are getting to know each other. And let's be honest, we all know everybody puts on a facade for 6 months to a year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I always say, give people 6 months to a year, because at some point that paint is going to start to peel off, right? So people put on a facade for 6 months to a year. How do you determine whether this person is the same type of person that you've been dealing with? Because they can be the same person, just in a different skin.
Well, honestly, and I'm gonna be truthful with you. The only time a person can get away with it that long is if you are shallow.
Right. Right.
Even if they putting up a good facade, because some of these people are actors out here.
You got to be pretty shallow for somebody to pull something over on you for a whole year. And there were no flags.
Yeah.
You missed all of the telltales. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Right.
You're ignoring them.
Exactly, because they are offering.
Well, you compromise too. People.
Because they offered you something that you needed,
right,
and you overlooked red flags.
Everything else.
And that's the part that most of us as males and females don't want to admit. We don't want to admit that the reason we stuck with this dysfunctional person as long as we did is because we were equally dysfunctional. They had something we needed at the time, and we were willing to sacrifice everything else to get that need fulfilled.
Okay.
Yep. We allowed it.
So we're not having those deep conversations. We're not having conversations that would potentially wreck, or mess up this need I have that they can fulfill. So I don't want to know. You ever heard somebody say, I don't want to know? Like,
yeah.
Hey, you know what? That comment right there. Damn, put that comment back up. I want to say something to that right quick. People show you exactly who they are. Just pay attention. Yeah, I can definitely say pay attention, but also just remember sometimes we may miss things due to the state that we are in our own selves too. So you're gonna miss certain things. So no matter how much attention you pay, if you're not balanced and where you are, then no matter how much you gotta balance yourself out. So you can't.
Usually when you are a balanced man and you run into an unbalanced woman and you make that decision to bounce, these are the kind of comments you'll hear about him. Oh, he couldn't handle me. He was no strong man.
Right.
And then here's what you'll hear the man say. See, she was controlling. No, bro. She just had a standard that she wasn't gonna allow you to take her beneath. You were not meeting the task. Dude, you 35, 40, 42, and you don't have your own car. That's problematic. You 35, 37, 38 don't have your own place to stay. That's problematic. And when she deduced that, hold on, bro, it's more to these sad stories you telling me. We can't get pissed with people when they really see us for who we are, because they start paying attention. But that's when we are dysfunctional, we get mad. You know what I'm saying? We get mad, and now we want to make them sound like they the bad guy or bad woman because they recognize what they was dealing with.
I always tell my female friends, if you have a house, a car, and a job, you don't need to date a man that's bringing less than 2 of those to the table. And depending on where you're at in life, you don't need to date a man that's bringing less than 3. That's not bringing all 3 of those things to the table. Not saying that he got to make a whole bunch of money or make more money than you, but that's problematic when he's still living on his grandma's couch and you got to go pick him up for every day. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
like, you know, I think you're just asking for issues because you're overlooking what is super visible, but it's not always that easy sometimes. But like you guys said, if you haven't necessarily dealt with things in your own life, then you'll overlook something in somebody else's life because that person is feeling the need for you.
There you go. And I've said this to guys. I'm like, man, listen, everybody at some point or another in their life falls on hard times. That's reasonable. That's acceptable. But I believe that if you are in the state of hard times as a man, and guys, the 2 guys that's on this panel with me, you tell me how you feel about this statement. I feel
like I
that
agree with you. I don't
as
even
a
know what you're
man, if you've fallen on hard times, I think that is the worst time for you to be trying to date a woman.
I so agree.
Get on
Yeah.
your feet first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I've said that several times on my platform. I mean, so many times because you know, you could definitely there's a responsibility when you're trying to impress a young lady. You know, the responsibilities is going to be definitely financial. So you don't want to spend the light bill and you're in the dark, but you fool because you just
Right.
took her
But
out. Like,
here's the crazy thing, though.
you know what I mean? It doesn't balance out.
Right.
And so I'll say this. But then again, and fellas and those that may be down, you know, just to give you a word of advice who still try to date, just do this. You can get out of the hole much faster if you just hone your own energy into yourself and what you need to do. Guess what? You'll be out of it, and guess what? They still gonna be there. The women are not going
Thank you.
nowhere.
Here's the crazy thing, though, is that a lot of these guys that are in this situation, they always get the women who have surface level, I'm gonna say it like that, stuff together. They don't have a pot to piss in, but surface level, she got her stuff together. Now mentally that might be another story, but surface level, if I can look and see like, oh dang, she got her stuff together, how he pull her? You see what I'm saying? It always winds up like that, but then there's that cycle because now when he start messing up or that paint start peeling off his face and that mask start falling off, all of a sudden there ain't no good men out here. And now the man who is actually a good man, she, you know, encounters her and it's like he got to make a decision. Am I gonna pick up these pieces, or if I'm gonna be like, nah, you need to work on you. Let me go over here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it even furthers her argument more because now the guy that she wants is not gonna approach her. So now she's gonna say even more. Well, ain't no good men out here. No, you just don't have your stuff together because you let somebody mentally screw you up because they weren't where they needed to be, and you let somebody take your energy that shouldn't have been taking your energy.
There you go. Oh, wow. Jimmy, that was me. I hit rock bottom and the trauma alone kept me from attempting anything. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not talking about just being in that state of depression or frustration or whatever it was. I'm talking about even the acknowledgement. Okay, I'm not in a position right now to be dating.
Yeah.
Let me get myself out of this situation financially, emotionally, you know, mentally, and get myself up and running. You know what I'm saying? Before I start entertaining a woman trying to date her. And so that's from the perspective I was talking about, Kevin. Yeah, because I mean, you know, at some point all of us have gone through something. You know what I'm saying? And for those both men and women, if you happen to find somebody that will accept you when you're at your lowest, do all you can to treat that person right, because those come dime a dozen nowadays. Well, let me rephrase that. Those are very scarce nowadays. I didn't mean dime a dozen.
Yeah, because you won. You know what I'm saying? You can't even get a dozen no more.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna I'm gonna say two things. The first thing I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna say that second. The first thing I'm gonna say, as far as like if you find somebody on that level, if you can, and I know it's scary because people don't want to lose possession sometimes. Oh man, she's giving me a chance. I don't want to lose her. If you can, just be open and honest with her. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta let her know everything, but be open and honest and form a friendship. So that way you don't have that responsibility. Form a friendship with her. Let her know, like, hey, boom, I'm trying to get X, Y, Z together before I move into the realm of dating, because dating is a huge responsibility. Dating is a big responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're not just thinking about yourself. You're thinking about like, how can I make this other person feel valued in this situation and whatnot. So like before you take on that extra level of responsibility, if you come across somebody you like, guess what? If they like you and you're upfront with them, I honestly believe that they will be like, you know what? I see what you're trying to do. I see the fruits of your labor. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I just said. Yeah, if you find a woman that will, or man, if you are a woman that will choose you when you're at your lowest, don't abuse that person.
Yeah.
Don't abuse that person, because what I have found in my business is those are the ones that get abused the most, because as soon as the person gets on their feet, they look for a better option. And it's like, how dare you? I helped you come from the gutter. And as soon as you get on your feet, the first thing you do is bounce. You go find something that you thought was better. That's
Wait, throw the dude. That's kind of hardcore right there. But you know what? That's kind of hardcore. That's why I respect. Let me tell you something, just real quick. That's why I respect T.I. and Tiny from that perspective, right? How, regardless of how much mess up or whatever, his loyalty to her runs deeper than any woman can step in on that situation, even when he messes up. Because I saw that relationship when it first developed, and I saw where he was, and I saw where she was, and she invested in him, and they're still together for whatever reason. So I respect him for the fact that he's able to understand, when he was down, what type of woman he had, regardless of what people may view. It's a good example.
Those are relationships that last, man.
Right. He has a loyalty to her I've never seen.
Man, and I'm gonna just say this too, man. I'm real big on the word loyalty, and I'm talking about in its totality, right?
Loyalty over love.
Man, listen, my wife, I am confident enough to say that she has no doubt of my loyalty for our marriage, right? Because she understands that I am not going to be reckless enough to introduce some other woman into the equation and destroy what we have. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't matter where we are in our relationship. Because I'm a firm believer, if it's so bad in my relationship where I honestly am entertaining another woman, I'm leaving the one I'm with.
Right. Which would only be fair.
You understand what I'm saying?
Which would only be fair. But we know that.
Because my thing is, and I see this too much. People think that this other person is going to make them feel better. And what normally happens is right after they do it, things start to get better in their personal life. And now they in this conundrum.
SAT word.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh wow, and now you got to choose, and so for me, it's like, why do you put yourselves in that position? Like, dude, listen, be low. So I just say that, man. Like, listen, there is no such thing as there not being any good women, just like there's no such thing as there not being a lot of good men. Man, this world is too vast
Absolutely.
for that to make sense.
And
Right.
her issue was the pool of desirables from her angle there aren't a lot.
Right.
And her list might be a mile long.
Mhm.
No man could probably qualify for that. You never know.
Right.
But that's what it is. And the first time I heard the word undesirables when talking about the dating, it was a couple of years ago. But I get it because you have your own things that you like or don't like. But also some of your ideologies play into that undesirables list.
There you go.
However, he was right. There are good men everywhere who are not getting a second look.
That's it. Because
When
they
they
don't meet all your criteria.
Mm-hmm.
When you
How
keep
many
shopping at the
men-
same store,
Say
when
what?
you keep shopping at the same store, you're gonna keep getting the same product.
But what
know
if
what I'm
she's not? What if she's not? But where she's going, she's just not seeing what she's looking for.
No,
Her
I'm
list might be
saying
a
that
mile off.
I'm saying that in a symbolic sense, right?
I get
Because
what you're saying.
if we're saying that let's say she has the same group of friends that date the same type of guy, so they all have the same conversation about men. If she's dating the same type of men just in different forms, then in essence she's dating that she keeps going to the same store looking for a different product. She needs to stop going to Target and go to Walmart where she has more options. You see what I'm saying? So she needs to take herself
I
out of
get
the
you.
circle that she's in and put herself in another environment to be able to change her mindset, to be able to see something different. Because that's what I run into a lot of times is like, like listening and talking to women sometimes, and even talking to other guys, and we have like these conversations, a lot of times is they're shopping symbolically in the same place and they're not opening themselves up to something different to say, oh, you know what, if I go over here, I might encounter a different variety of person that has something else to give, or I'm not even able to open my mind up to something different because my mind is so closed in based off what I've been through in life. That's all I'm saying.
Right, what you're talking about is based on her sphere of influence, her area, right? What I'm talking about is she just might have a long list where
Right.
only God could qualify.
Right.
Maybe she needs to date the
Right.
Lord. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe
Right.
her list is long.
No,
Or
I
unreasonable.
understood you clearly, Corey, and I
Mhm.
also understand Cortland.
Oh, absolutely.
Cortland, I want to challenge you on that. I don't
Yes, sir.
think that they go to the exact same place. I think they do go to Target. They just go to the same department.
Mm,
Okay. Okay.
See, because here's the deal: birds of a feather truly do flock together, and you feel like a fish out of water when you try to go delve into areas that you don't belong, because you stand out like a sore thumb.
But
It's
I'll
like
say this, Jimmy.
it's like me walking into
I'll say this, Jimmy, because I think Mark.
Can't hear you,
your mic is
Mark.
out. You're silent, brother.
Mark, can't hear
You're
you.
silent, brother. Tap your mic, brother.
Okay, hold
Tap
on
your
a
mic.
second.
There you go. You back?
No, it's going in and out. I heard him a
No.
little bit and then it went out again. But you guys, the video was on Donna's page, Wall Donna.
Okay.
If you
All
didn't
right.
know, the video is up.
I'll say this, Jimmy. Walmart tea and Target tea don't taste the same.
If you're buying the same brand,
If you're buying the same brand, it does.
Okay.
see what you're assuming is they go into a different location and looking for different brands, but they're not. They're going to different locations and they're looking for the exact same brand.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can take a woman that's distorted from Atlanta and you can move her to Washington D.C. She's still gonna look for the same type guys because that's what she's
Right.
attracted to for whatever those reasons are. You can move her from Washington D.C. and take her to Florida. She gonna find the same type dude in Florida. You can take her from Florida and take her tail all the way to Alaska. Some kind of way she gonna find the same type dude in Alaska.
Let me tell you.
And that's
Let me tell you how
that's
she's
just like a
not.
man.
Let me tell you how she's not going to. Because I gotta put this point. I gotta put this point in here, and Kevin said it. I always say he did the ding, ding, ding part.
Mm.
She's gonna get some counseling.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
She's
Where's
going,
the bell, Donna?
she's going to be accountable. She's going to find a place in her life where she needs to be accountable.
And he too. So we're gonna say both of them. And a man that's not gonna look for the same type woman need to do the same thing.
Right.
Keisha's got a good point.
You're gonna take some accountability. Say that again, Cortland.
I said Keisha has a good point over here too about the fantasy. People buying into fantasies.
Oh, definitely. Yep, I saw that. It moved so many people.
Is it this one?
Oh, yes. I think too many people, men and women, have bought into the fantasy of what their person should be due to the noise of SM, I'm assuming social media displays.
Yep.
Some of the most amazing people are not shining with a bunch of stuff, but people don't check for people unless there is.
That's
true.
Right. Keisha, you hit that head on the head.
That's right.
And that's what's crazy, because a lot of the rhetoric that we're hearing online, you know what I'm saying, from people on social media is coming from social media.
Exactly.
You know what
people
I'm saying?
Crazy things for some likes.
Yeah, and it's hot button topic. So it's popular to go out there and say, well, ain't no good men out there. The pool is that because somebody said it and they blew up and we got 50,000 views. Somebody else said it blew up and got 1 million views. So you're going to say it too, whether you believe it or not, right? Because you're trying to say it, now you're stoking a fire. The problem where it's harmful is somebody sitting at home that is not, I'm going to use this word, emotionally intelligent enough, is going to believe that rhetoric.
Right.
And they're going to start to buy into those things. That's where it's harmful.
Right. Well, I mean, that's been going on in society forever, but I think it's stronger now because social media can reach everybody quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why even a couple of weeks ago, Corey, if you remember me saying, that's why you have to rely on principles and not your preferences. If you don't know what's really valuable, you will find yourself falling into these traps. Because let me tell you something. Money is really, 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 really good to have. It can do a lot of stuff, right? But it is not a necessity when it comes down to true love. How to manage money. You cannot be a six-figure person, but you know how to manage money, and you can live a great life.
Right. Right.
It's always broke people who need a certain dollar amount because they think once they get that dollar amount, they'll have some type of financial freedom. When you gonna blow that just like you blew them that $500 you make every week.
Yeah, I'm trying to post this video. I'm having the hardest time.
Can you see the URL? Because if you can see the URL, all you gotta do is copy it and paste it.
Well, that I understand, but I'm not seeing it, and I tried to go through my phone and do it because the video I actually saved the video. I had to go to TikTok and find the person that published the video to put the video out, and I just saved
the URL. The URL is in our text thread. The URL is in our text thread. If you copy that, you can put that. Yeah, the very last one. Just copy that. Should be able to copy that.
Okay.
Actually, go.
That's the other video. That's not it.
We do need to put the phones down. That's
the other video we were talking about. The one that was just posted. The one that we were discussing before we went on. That we said we're not. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna play the video again. I'll play it again.
Okay.
It's actually on my page. It's Wall Donna. It's on my page. I'm sure Mark will more than likely have it on his page. Corey, I believe it's on your page. Mark is having some technical difficulties, so he's popping in and out. But let me do this. Let me play the video again. Let me play it again. Here we go.
Pool of good men.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
That is a lie.
Tell me.
Listen, there's not a lot of good men who want y'all. I'm clapping for myself. Where the good man at? Like they hiding under a rocker in a cave. They everywhere. They at the gas station. They at Costco. They at Equinox. They at the bank. They walking right past you and you don't show up on their radar because of the way you are. They're going to walk right by you. Your pretty face ain't going to go too far because everybody's pretty. That's a prerequisite. So if that's all you got to offer, we're not looking at you. But there's plenty good men. They just don't want your ass. I ain't never heard no woman say, I know I ain't shit. When have you ever heard a woman admit to not being shit? She'll say, this man ain't shit. He ain't shit. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad. But for the most part, every woman think they're a good woman. What makes you a good woman? Who's auditing that you're a good woman? You are auditing yourself. Why don't you ask your exes what they think? Because all your relationships diminished and ended in turmoil.
Yeah. Yeah. When that first clip before he said women ain't shit, he was not getting interrupted. He wasn't getting interrupted. Whether it's edited or not, he was not getting interrupted.
And
Everybody
again, whether man or woman, you're not going to say it. You're not going to say it.
Right.
If you're not in a place where you're trying to heal, if you're not in a place where you're trying to be productive and you're not saying, you know what, I'm tired of the foolishness. I'm tired of everything ending up the same. I need better. I want better. I got to do better. And I got to start with me. So whether the dudes were silent, whether the females were silent, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have to take responsibility. There has to be some accountability. And you have to make a decision that last relationship, the one after that, the one after that, the one after that. Dang, who is the common denominator?
That's what I was just about to say, Donna.
Who is the common denominator?
You were the only person in all those relationships.
Right.
So
you were the only person.
You're culpable on some level.
Yep.
Why can you not see that?
Right.
Even if it's on the base level of you keep choosing the wrong person. Let's just start there then.
Yep. And you can be the greatest person in the world. I just got to reiterate. You can be the greatest person in the world. And I think Cortland said it earlier. You keep choosing the wrong woman. You keep choosing the wrong man. So it's time to sit back and be like, you know what? What am I doing?
May I interject?
Sure.
It is also possible, and I'm sure it's not going to be the rule. It's probably going to be the exception. Sometimes there's another person in the couple, they just don't want to be there anymore. So they might start acting up because they don't want to be there. And this person might just be a good person. They might be the one that's doing everything right. And they done got messed over. They got themselves some counseling. Ding, 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 ding. And they meet somebody nice. And that person decides, I don't want to be there. Just want to say that because there's going to be somebody like, oh, well, everybody isn't. I'm not. Okay.
Of course.
The exception, not the rule.
And that's the truth. Listen, people can potentially grow apart. I've watched that. And what does that look like? People who initially got together on a trauma bond. One of them got healed. The other one refuses to. And I remember even when I was going through the courses, wondering why would a person choose?
Mark just don't want to be here.
Yeah, I know it. Why would a person choose to stay unhealed? And I heard somebody articulate this, and it's
comfortable
because that's where
I'm putting this on the screen because
they get the most attention as a victim.
So say it again.
They're comfortable with being in dysfunction because that's where they get the most attention.
It's comfortable. It's comfortable. And it's also a safe zone for them because they already know what to expect.
Yes, they're familiar.
Once you get outside of that box, you're in new territory now, and now you have to deal with something new and something whatever. But I'm gonna say something. I don't know if this is gonna start a fire, but I'm gonna ask a question.
It probably is.
He's hoping for it. I know he is.
Let's do it.
The gasoline.
All right. So Jimmy. You're the only one on this panel that's married. And I'm presuming that every person on this panel sees themselves as a good person, right? So the question that I have for the group is, should I say, what is wrong with us? And not in the sense like there's something wrong with us, but what is wrong with us as far as the people that we are dealing with has not led us to a successful relationship to the point that maybe, because I'm guessing the end goal is marriage. I'm making an assumption, led us to that point of having a successful marriage outside of Jimmy. Or what is up with the people that we are picking that has us here going off the basis of we're the common denominator in each one of these situations to where we are having these relationships that aren't working out. I don't know if I said that the way that it's in my head, but
Sounds like
understand what I'm trying to say?
Here's how a wise person would answer that question. I don't know you and your personal life, so I can't answer that question.
Okay. So there's other people on the panel.
I'm talking about all of us. You said all of us. What's wrong with us? I don't know all y'all. I don't know none of y'all's personal life in the area of how you behave in relationships, what your particular relationship likes are.
Say what's wrong with me? What you mean? What's wrong with us?
Right, that's what he said. He's like, what's wrong with us?
Like he's saying, why are you still single?
No.
Is anything wrong? Because we still single?
Well, I'm basing it off the conversation that we're having. You know, I guarantee. I know you are, but I'm guaranteed somebody's asking that in the comments, or somebody just is asking that watching online. Like, well, dang, if that's the end all be all, like I'm still single in my 40s. Like, do I need to reevaluate myself, or like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
well, no, you're right. You're right, Cortland. As a matter of fact, Joy said it best. That's not always the end goal. The end goal for some people is not marriage, right? And I'm assuming that's what she's referring to. So everybody may not want marriage, right?
Right.
Now, if that's how you feel, of course, single is an option in the sense that we know single being not married. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Me personally, Jimmy Dwayne Rogers Jr., I don't like spending my resources on a lot of people. So my thing was, I want to find one person whom we share the same value system, and marriage is an end goal for us, and that's where I'm going to share my resources. And when I say resources, I'm not necessarily only talking about money.
Yeah, I got you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So but there are people in this world who don't necessarily feel marriage is required or needed.
Well, let's just say it's a successful relationship. How about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, then we would have to talk about your relationships and your mindset and how do you feel about successful relationships. And two, think about that though. As much as women like to assume men don't care about marriage, that's not actually accurate. We just don't talk about it all the time. That's not necessarily a dream of ours.
Right.
You know, we ain't been dreaming since we was 8 about how our wedding was gonna look and what our our tuxedo was gonna look like. That's not how we think.
Say that, Kevin.
I wanted all my homeboys to be there.
Right. That's not how we think. Oh, Kevin hit that dead on the head. He said where did he go? Cortland, most folks aren't committed to the process, but expect the completed feeling.
Yeah, that's what I was giving the thumbs up to.
Yes, sir. He hit that dead on the head.
Read that again. Read that again.
Most folk aren't committed to the process, but expect the completed feeling. And I used to say this. This is what I tell my clients. I said, it is a shame that a lot of people in relationships and in marriage want to do part-time work but want the full-time benefits.
That's lazy dating. Lazy dating.
Felt that thing.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you hear either a man or a woman their expectations are aggrandized to receive, but you never hear them aggrandize what they're willing to give, that's a Negro you need to run from.
Right.
Because
Right.
that's a selfish person and they're not going to give you much. But they're willing to take everything.
Mm-hmm.
What you called earlier? Succubus?
A succubus. That's right. That's exactly what it is. Will drain you dry. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, relationships require you to be selfless.
Yeah.
And we know by nature we're selfish. So we're consistently fighting against our own natural desires.
And currently at this time, everything is about self.
Yes.
Everything.
I watched the video today, and the gentleman was saying, I think I sent it to you all. The gentleman was saying, when you really love someone, you'll do whatever. You'll
Dr.
do
Umar,
whatever.
right?
Even if that means you're hurt behind it, you will do whatever. That's what true love looks like.
Versus
You would do
That's what I
whatever.
was going to ask. That's what
That's
I was
what
gonna ask.
unconditional love looks like. Yep.
Can y'all hear me? Yeah, hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's to a certain level though. I mean, you're not going to be in a bad condition forever. You know what I mean? I think that goes but so far.
No, he wasn't
You know what I
saying
mean?
in a bad condition. It's never the point of being in a bad condition. It's that even if
part. I'm talking about the unconditional part. He's from what if we were discussing. I may be jumping far ahead, but I remember him saying something about unconditional, like unconditional love. You know, when that video, particularly one you're talking about, and I just basically say there is always a condition.
Well, I will say this. I will say this, Mark. People that love you unconditionally will endure pain a lot longer than a conditional lover.
Right.
I understand that, but I agree. But what I'm saying is, even with that person, it only goes but so far. You're gonna leave at some point if the conditions don't change. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you, but I think from the context that Dr. Umar was referring to is he was, and he also, if you looked at the rest of that video, he was talking the difference between a commitment and a contract.
Yes.
Right.
I think
a lot of people are in relationships based on a contract. If you do this, then I'll do that. That's conditional. That's a contract.
Right. But aren't relationships transactional anyway?
No, there are transactions within the relationship, but they're not transactional.
I know, but let me just make this last point. So if I do, if you give me, it is a transaction though between two people though, correct?
No, we're not
to be. Go ahead.
So listen to what I'm saying.
A contract from what my understanding is, it is like a transaction. A transaction occurs during the contract, right? There has to be some type of transaction, correct? So it's almost one and the same. Though I'm just asking. It's all in one, particularly. No, it's not. It doesn't go without the other.
No, it doesn't. So
okay.
I'll explain the difference.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll explain the difference.
Okay.
In the terms of a contract, it says, if you do A, I will do B.
Mm-hmm.
If A is breached,
of a contract.
Right. We're talking about contracts. These are the transactional. These are the transactional things we're referring to. So you got, if you do A, then I will agree to do B. However, if you breach A, I don't have to give you B, or vice versa. If I breach B, you don't have to give me A. That's contract.
Right.
Yeah.
Commitment
I agree.
Commitment says this. Here's the difference. Commitment says this. Commitment says, I am aware that there are times when you may not give me what I'm expecting.
Right.
But I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to honor you. I'm still going to respect you, blah, 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 blah. Right? Now, do we have a healthy and reasonable expectation that if as a man I'm providing for this woman, I'm loving this woman, I'm emotionally safe for her, do I have a reasonable expectation that she will give me in return the type of love that I need, not only the type of love she want to give? Yes, that's reasonable, right? That's a
Mhm.
reasonable expectation. But if she doesn't give me that, what we're saying is a person that's in a committed relationship will hang in there much longer trying to explain to her, hey, I need you to understand this is what I need for us to continue in this marriage or this relationship. Right now, does those committed relationships sometimes end? Absolutely, but it take them a long time, much longer to end than it does for a relationship that was built off of a contractual kind of, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you type thing.
Can
I
I
agree with what Kevin is just saying right there. And I want to say this, even if I'm 38 hot at you, if you ask me to get you a glass of water, I'm going to go get that glass of water for the love that
Mhm.
I have for you. But I think in this day and age, we have gotten so caught up and so lost in the fact that,
Selfish.
you know, you said it earlier, Jimmy, when you kind of said loyalty over love. I'm hearing marriage is a contract, marriage is a partnership.
Marriage
Like
is a
love,
covenant.
love has gotten lost in the whole confines of what a relationship is supposed to be about, in my opinion. So I have a question about that, but I'll get back to that. Let me read what Kevin said also here. He says, why have we made love so complicated? Truth makes it so easy. Clarity from the gate make your intentions clear and upfront. Their response will determine whether or not it is something to pursue.
That is
I
100% factual.
The reason why is because people don't want to miss out. If I tell you the truth, listen, I only want you for sex. You might not stay around, and I like the way you look, and I think it would be great. But
so I'm not gonna tell you that's what it is.
You'll you'll miss out on this person, but the next person, they might want exactly what you want. But the reason why people lie is because they don't want to miss out.
That's right.
Or maybe they feel like they'll hurt your feelings. Who knows?
Right.
But I prefer the straight up upfront. Tell me.
So here's my question. Yeah, here's my question. And this was something that you touched on earlier, Jimmy, when you said loyalty over love, and I couldn't remember the question, but it just came back to me. Loyalty versus love. That's what I want to turn it into. The question is, why does love kind of get put on the back burner so much when it comes to relationships, or even when we talk about marriage? Why is love like not the forefront? Well, we don't get married for love, and we don't do this, and we don't do that, and love is not a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need X, Y, and Z. Why is love put on the back burner? Like, why has love lost some of its luster that it used to have?
Because love requires a level of commitment that people don't want to give.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think love lost its luster. I don't.
Yes, it has.
No. Love has not lost its luster.
Yeah, I don't.
What we're dealing with is people who are more infatuated with something than they are in love.
So it's lost its luster then.
No. See, it has nothing to do with
love.
Love.
Love is still love.
Love is still
I
love.
think people have said, you know what? I don't want love. I want this transactional relationship.
That's what's happening.
Right.
So
That's
you're
what I'm saying. So it's no
relationship.
longer appealing anymore to have love. I just want the transaction. So it has lost its luster in a sense, because people are not seeking that anymore.
That's not what's happening here.
Okay.
So that'll be like saying, what you're saying would be equivalent to people that are considered sane versus people that are considered insane. If you knew more insane people, for you to say, you know, saneness has lost its luster. No, it has not.
Right.
You got some people that may have been, their insanity may have been chemically induced. It may have been trauma induced. It may have been, you know, people are going after selfish things now, not because love has lost its luster. They don't want to, they have chosen stuff over real relationship, status over real relationship.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So no, love hasn't lost its luster. That's why people at the end of the day, when all of those people who don't really get into relationships for love, after it's all said and done, guess what they end up really wanting?
I just want to be loved.
They just want to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
So Corey B said something about some people say Corey B said something about the transactional part. I'm still stuck on that, y'all. I'll be honest with you. I think everything is a transaction.
If you look good, I'll take care of you. You don't have to work. So long as you stay a size 6, I'm gonna take care of you. You don't have to work. I'm gonna make sure everything.
Right.
As long as you clean your house, as long as you do this, that's what we're hearing a lot of. That's a transactional stuff. And for a lot of people, what they're seeing, it's basically a kind of advertising. What you see, you start to want.
Maybe
I want to be taken care of. I want to do X, Y, and Z. Okay, well, I want to go to work and not have to do any housework, not have to watching the kids, not have to do anything. Let this person take care of it. I'll pay for you if you do this for me. That's the transactional part. But the love is left out. Love.
So what's the definition of a transaction?
I do this, you do that. It's basically money for service.
That's not.
I think a transaction. I think the definition of a transaction is if you give something to get something.
Yeah.
That's not the true definition of what transaction means through the dictionary.
I'll give you the true definition, Mark.
It means it's basically saying an exchange or interaction between. It doesn't give any conditions. It means interaction between, meaning any type of interaction. It doesn't have to be blah 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 blah. That's what transaction means.
Here's what transaction says. I'm looking at the definition now. It says an instance of buying or selling something, a business deal. That's one definition. The second definition says an exchange or interaction between people.
Right. So when I ask what transaction, then I guess how we define words sometimes, I think we need to really stick to what it truly means. I think everything's a transaction. Even it's an unspoken transaction that if I treat you a certain way, Donna, and you treat me a certain way, we're going to be happy. But if I begin to treat you differently, and then I don't treat you well, then guess what? You may not continue to do that. So it is somewhat of an unspoken word of saying, if you do this, I'll do this. So that will be considered, a transaction. So remember, transaction will be just simple interaction. That's all it means, right?
Well,
no. That's one of the actual definitions, though. Correct?
I don't see that. All I see is an instance of buying or selling something, a business deal. That's one definition. The second definition I'm looking at is an exchange or an interaction between people. Right. Now, here's what we're saying. Here's what we're saying, Mark. Right. There are instances within the context of a loving relationship that transactions happen.
Right, but it will be considered transactional too as well if we don't own our own.
Yes, that's what we're saying. Right, so listen to what I'm saying. Then, correct? You're not allowing me to finish the whole statement. Well, what I'm saying is there are instances where transactions are going to take place in the context of a relationship. Absolutely. But the relationship in the context of love is not based on the transaction.
Right.
So I think what's going on here. So what happens is, Mark, I once you hear the definition, I agree with you. But where the love part comes in is once I do not get what I'm expecting, because sometimes in a relationship we put expectations on our partner. Once I don't get the expectations that I put on you in return for what I may have done, do I still love you the same? Am I still going to treat you the same? Am I still going to give you the same energy? Or am I going to switch it up on you because you didn't do X, Y, and Z for me? You see what I'm saying? So I agree with what you're saying, but then the love part has to come into play because sometimes you ain't always going to get that expectation from your partner. And that's when you have to make a decision to say.
Read Kimberly's thought.
Right.
Let's read Kimberly's thought.
So you would basically say there's degrees to everything. Then you may not love the person the same, just like she said with the child. You may not your child, but what I'm saying is you may not love the person the same, but there's degrees, so it'll never be that same fire in relationships. So relationships and children is that's two.
That's not what we're saying.
Okay, I'm just talking about parent-child relationship. I'm just reading that part. That's all.
Yeah, no. What we're saying, what she's saying is, Mark, put that back up.
Because that was too good.
Sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Go ahead.
Love isn't always transactional. Think about a parent-child relationship. If the kids don't do what you want, you don't stop loving them. In other words, what she's saying is, if your child is disobedient and they're hard-headed, you don't stop loving them as a parent. Your love for them is still unconditional.
I know, but I was more so talking about in a relationship. That's Mark. That particular instance is a little different.
Mark, no, it's not. It's the same context.
Why isn't it?
Because for a husband and a wife, for a husband and a wife, my wife does not always do what I want her to do, but it does not change my level of love for her. Because she didn't make this transaction with me that I wanted, don't mean I stopped loving her. And that's the difference between love and a relationship that's built off of actual transaction. I'm only in this relationship because you did something for me, and I'm going to do something for you. Those are two different types of relationships. That's what we're saying.
Right. Yeah, right. I'm definitely not talking about the tit for tat one. No. I guess I was just saying from a standpoint of, and we're just gonna all have to disagree on those who disagree, but I just feel like at some point, even in a loving relationship, the way I loved you before, based upon how you treated me, may change to another condition based upon how I am being treated. That's all I'm saying. It's not going to be the same.
And that's not unconditional love. It's not. No matter how you try to put it, how we put it, how we turn it.
It's not unconditional love.
Right. So we're talking about what unconditional love means,
right?
What it is, and the point that's being made is,
we differ. I believe there's always. I don't believe there's. I believe there's degrees where you can always love a person, but I don't think that. Me personally, I don't think that you can always love a person, but you cannot always be in love person. So those are two totally different things. So when they say unconditional, that means some conditions do have to change. I just truly believe that.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing. Right. And this is something we all deal with. This is not one-sided or one person. We are so selfish when we really look at the heart of it. We can't even comprehend what unconditional love looks like. And I say we. I'm not just saying one person. We cannot even comprehend what unconditional love looks like, because if it doesn't serve us in some type of way, we don't want to deal with it. We want to end it. We want to cut it off. We want to walk away. Listen, I had an ex that his foundation was, I'm not happy. I don't feel happy. If I'm not happy, nigga, I'm sorry. Happy.
Oh, flashback.
Nothing will always be happy. I'm sorry, I don't even use that word, but yeah, Courtney, you're right. I felt triggered for a minute because everything was based on at some point happy. There were even terms in the process of it that it was I'm not happy anymore. Okay, well, you're happy on Tuesday though, but that's not unconditional, because nobody's going to always be happy.
That's right.
Not gonna always like what I do.
Right.
I understand that. So how often? Well, let me read this comment real quick, and this will segue into what I'm going to ask.
Sorry, y'all.
Transactional love is nothing more than fractional giving. It's not freely given, and thus it can't be cultivated between the two.
Nice.
How often is unconditional love actually represented in a relationship?
Not often enough.
Not often. Not often at all.
Not often at all. You're right. Thank you. At all.
It is rare. That's why Mark feels the way he feels.
Because it is rare.
Right, because it's rare. It's a rare thing to see.
I
And
think
that's
I think
with
I think we
everybody.
all I think we all feel that we had a significant other and they stopped treating us right. I think we all will change something about it.
Okay,
You would
Mark,
change
let
it
me
about the person. I am sure you would not love that person the same, Donna. If so, you would be. If we both been divorced, right?
yes,
You've been divorced, right? So
yes.
you really loved them, right? At one
You
point you
know,
really loved them. You married them,
you know,
right? Okay, but at some point
Marriage
y'all
don't
went from
constitute love, though.
it doesn't.
I
Y'all
didn't
listen to what
say
he's
that.
saying though.
Here we go. That's not where I'm going. I'm not going there. What I'm asking her is that did she ultimately what I'm asking, did she really love that man? Did you really love him at one point? Correct?
No.
You never
No,
loved
and
him.
I'm answering truthfully. And let me tell you
Okay.
what that means. What that
Never mind.
means. Let me tell you what that means. That means that okay, so at the point of the relationship going into it and getting to the point of saying I do, I get your point. I get what you're saying. I
Right.
get
And
what you're
you're no
saying.
longer with him now,
But
right?
guess what? But guess what? Over time and dealing with certain situations and things, as you're saying, Mark, I get it. Over time and dealing with certain situations, it made me realize I did not actually love this man. Because if I did, by definition of what the word love means, what it constitutes is there was no, it wasn't a love where regardless of what happened, it wasn't an unconditional place. Because, like you said, there were things that started happening that were hurtful, that were shocking, that were I'm not tolerating. Yes. So I get your point, Mark. I get what you're saying. And I really feel like all of us, not just one person, not just you, not just me, not just Corlin, all of us are at a point in life where to know what unconditional love really, really, really looks like and what it really means, because even if it's protecting ourselves, we're not going to walk that way at the end of the day. At the end of the day. That's why it requires for us to do things like this and talk about it and say, how can we get to the point of loving unconditionally? How can we get to the point of coming real close to it? Because ain't none of us God. But how
Right.
can we get to the point where we get real close to it and we're trying our best to walk in that manner, in that way? That means showing up every single day in your relationship.
Right. So from that perspective now, from that side of the light now, I'm just saying, so from that side of the light of two people that's working together and that has the best interests in each other and really loves each other all the way and they're both evenly given the unconditional love, yes, I do believe that's in that case. I was just saying more so, I guess, from the side of what if one person just don't do, you know what I mean? I'm just saying
Yeah.
that point. Now, I do
No,
believe if two are right, I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah.
From the standpoint of everybody stay on top of their stuff. But I just say if somebody fall to a point where they can no longer keep that up, I guess that's when it changes. I guess that was my own.
Yeah.
no,
That's
Mark,
when,
you're right. Because I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you one of the most favorite things I love to do is premarital counseling.
Right.
Right? I prefer premarital counseling over marriage counseling. Because marriage counseling, when I deal with it, normally identifies that they did not have real premarital counseling. Because in premarital counseling, I could tell you with darn near 100% accuracy if this couple is going to make it or not. Based on the type of questions that I ask the couples and the conversations we have during premarital counseling. Right? Because unfortunately, people don't go into relationships with a intention of learning the hearts of their mates. Most people go into relationships learning to learn the depths of how much their needs are going to get met.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, look, let me ask you something, Jimmy, real quick. I want you to touch on this. So, how do you feel from your side? How do you feel about prenups? Is prenups a slight of doubt in your perspective? From your perspective, you feel that?
I think prenups have the same legitimacy as insurance does.
So, do you think
both car and medical? So when you get your car insurance and you pay for your medical insurance, are you doubting that you ain't gonna be healthy no more? No, you getting it just in case.
Mhm.
just in case?
If I have to go to the hospital, I want to be
okay.
able to be covered.
The just in case. Go ahead, Mark.
You ain't
That
claiming.
sounds like that,
Look,
though.
on his face, he's like, something boiling.
Go ahead, Mark. The just in case got him.
Right. But you know, no. I'm just saying that kind of does slightly leaves doubt, though, doesn't it?
No, Mark.
Right, I agree. It does leave doubt.
No.
No, it
does
don't.
not. It does
No,
not.
it don't.
Are you? No. Let me finish. Let me finish my comment. When you go to your job, your new job, and they offer you all these benefits, they offer you vision, they offer you dental, they offer you health. Are you saying, man, I'm gonna get sick? Let me go and get this insurance. No, that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is, let me get this insurance just in case I do get sick. Because if you understand life and you know how much it costs to go to an emergency room and actually get treated, and heaven forbid if they admit you, that's money that would have to come directly out of your pocket. So common sense would say, let me get something that could offset any potential damages that could happen to me unbeknownst to me.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell y'all, my last relationship, my last marriage, that's what we had.
What y'all had?
A prenup. And guess who asked for one?
Why'd you get one?
I did.
Why?
I got a prenup, and this was the conversation. I have a business. I worked blood, sweat, and tears to build, right? He had a business. My thing was the prenup covered the businesses. Now it does not say, and it did not say what we made, what we earned. What did he say?
He's just laughing at Colin. He can't sit still. I can see the inside of him like jumping, like, please clean it up.
It did not say the what we were reaping from the benefits we were reaping from our businesses. We would not use those resources to build our household, to build our family, to build our future. It did not say that. It just said that what we already had in place before each other is going to remain in place regardless. Because the smart thing in life to do is to say, I will never be the parent to say what my child won't do.
Mm.
He will take his behind to school and act a straight plumb fool. But at home, he'll act a certain way. Does that say I don't trust my child? No, that's just saying he's human.
And y'all love the children in their life. The children always get the heartstrings, right?
What is that?
What is it? Don't do it, Corley.
Somebody say something, they always want to bring the children in there. We are the children. You know, I get it.
Because listen.
We get it. The heartstrings are pulled about the children. So my question to you is, when you got the prenup, in your mind, you was like, baby, I love you, but just in case, let me go ahead.
Just in case.
Let me answer this. Let me say it this way. And no offense to anybody. No offense to anybody, but I'm gonna say it this way. Folks that don't have nothing don't understand a prenup.
There you go.
Right.
If you have nothing, the people that
Donna, let me. I wanna go even further.
Go ahead.
Go even further. People who haven't lost a lot in a divorce don't understand.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. This is
I
why
believe
I
I
was
will
that.
never,
asking.
I will never walk. I will never walk with the audacity and
No.
assumption
I
that
believe
I
in them.
know what someone will do. All
I'm
I
gonna
can
say this.
do, all I can do is treat you from the best of my ability to treat you the way that you're showing, asking, and need me to treat you, and to hope and pray for the same thing in return. I will never, ever, ever say.
I'm gonna say this. I was actually laughing at something Donna said that I couldn't have a rebuttal to because we're live. But
Businesses.
but
Type it in.
for some reason my keyboard is not working. I've been trying to type all night, but I'll type it in the chat later. But anyway, so basically, coming from the broke brother on the panel, y'all can tell by the shirts I wear. I only make $2 an hour. But
Right.
yeah, I don't get prenups for this particular reason. And I hear what you're saying, Jimmy, and I understand that. But I think it's different when we're talking about a relationship with a person. And I think this is why it goes back to love being overlooked when it comes to relationships. Because if I'm signing a prenup, I feel like I'm automatically having that doubt in my mind that this situation ain't going to work. Because I'm saying to myself, just in case this situation doesn't work, I want to protect all my assets. Okay, I get it. Cortland sounds like he's been married like 8 times.
No, he sounds like he's never been married.
Because he said,
First of
I
all,
don't get prenup.
first of all,
prenups.
I wasn't supposed to read that out loud. My bad.
You were not.
That's for the people in the background. Stop it. You know, where's the producer when you need him? But anyway, like I was saying, and I've always thought this though. Ever since I was like a little kid and first started hearing about prenups, I just never really understood why marry somebody if you cannot trust them with the whole entirety of your life. When you say your vows, isn't that a part of your vows? Like,
No.
not those exact words.
So
Not those
let me
exact
ask you a
words.
question. Let me ask you a question, Cortland. Let me ask you a
Gotta do
question.
it.
Let me ask you a question, Cortland.
Yeah.
The vows that you just brought up,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
based on current statistics,
Mm-hmm.
how often are those vows broken?
A lot. But what that got to do with me?
No, Cortland,
51%.
Cortland, you would be a fool to think that you won't be a part of those statistics.
Oh boy.
Because here's what you are assuming. You are assuming that the woman you're going to choose is going to feel the exact same way you feel,
Forever.
even when she's unhappy with you
Mm-hmm.
or bored with you.
We just went over the whole thing about unconditional love and how 99.9% of us do not understand and know how to show unconditional love.
So, but
So I'm
Donna, let me go
already
even
not
deeper.
trusting the person that I'm talking about. I want to spend the rest of my life.
No. Let me go even deeper. Let me go even deeper with you, because I think sometimes if you don't look at things from the right perspective, it can cloud your judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I used to feel like you felt, Cortland. I was like, a prenup, man. Why are you going into the relationship thinking it's not going to work? Blah 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 blah. I said all that foolery too.
I did too.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
But
granted, I've never been married, so I don't have a marriage.
And I
on my
know,
record.
and I believe that's really why you are saying what you're saying, right?
Right.
Because I'm gonna say this. What would can you not see how, even as a broke man that make $2.50 an hour,
$2. $2.
Cortland,
Don't give me a raise. $2. Don't give me a raise.
Okay, $2. Okay. Even a man that's making $2 an hour, if you met a woman and you said to her, babe, I want to sign a prenup. Everybody know why a prenup is being put in place. And she said, no problem, baby. Where's the paperwork? Would that not indicate to you that she's in it for a good reason?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If you came to your woman and said, babe, listen, I think we should sign a prenup. I want you to be protected. I want to be protected. And she goes, I ain't signing no prenup. What is she telling you?
Well, if she say it like that, then yeah, there's some
You don't
hidden
want to
agendas
be
going
Mr.
on.
Strahan.
What is she telling you?
There's some hidden agendas going on if she say it like that. But what if she says, I'm not comfortable signing the prenup? What about
Okay.
that?
What is she telling you if she's not comfortable signing the prenup?
She does not want to be Mrs. Strahan.
Whether she say it straight or whether she say it with all the that Jimmy just said.
No. If she just came to me, if I said, hey, babe, I want you to sign a prenup, and she just says to me calmly, like, I'm not comfortable with signing the prenup, you know what I'm saying? And then I say, okay, now we
why?
Yeah. Now we have a discussion. Why do you feel that way?
Right. Huh? And then she ultimately tells you because this is how it's gonna go. Well, I think if we sign in prenups, we already saying we gonna get divorced.
We already dooming ourselves.
We already saying we gonna get divorced.
Right.
Let me tell you the only person that doesn't want to sign a prenup. The one who has the most to gain in a divorce.
Yep. Folks that don't have nothing.
The one who has the most to gain in a divorce is the one who does not want to sign the prenup.
So that's not speaking and saying it's not going to work. It's a daily walk. It's showing up every day.
That's right. That's right, Mark. It's a just in case I get sick, I can have some bills that can be paid and I ain't got to pay it all out of my pocket.
Let me see. What did Joy say? Prenups feel like go ahead.
Prenups feel like drawing a line in the sand and limiting what we can have together. I would sign it in reference to what we had prior to the marriage, but anything we build together should be equally. First of all, my 8th grade education don't allow me to say depressed or
dispersed. Good.
Dispersed. Thank you. Help me out, teacher. Help me out. If that ending coming to.
Joy, I love you.
Exactly what a prenup
is. That's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. And that's exactly what I said. Anything moving forward, let's build together. I wanted to start some other businesses. Let's do this thing. And what I bring in, what I bring home, what I bring to the table is going to benefit us moving forward. That's exactly what it is, Joe.
Let me ask you this question. Say y'all been married for 20 years and your spouse comes to you and is like, hey, you know what? We've been married 20 years. We done built business together. We are killing this thing. We are doing this thing. We love each other. Let's rip up the prenup. How do you feel about that?
I'd say, nigga, please.
But you know what though? It's so funny though. You know what? I believe you should. You know what? I'm kind of split 50-50, right? I'm kind of split 50-50.
Where's the love?
The reason why I say I'm 50-50 on it is because, I've been on that side of leaving a divorce and just walking away from everything. But regardless of whatever I lost, I had so much belief in my own self. It didn't matter, right? So. You know what I mean? If I had someone that wanted to sign one, fine. If I, was ever to get married again, would I do one? I don't know. I think they're important, but I don't know if it's that really important to me because, again, I don't fear losing anything.
Well, I don't fear losing anything either.
I've had it. I've had it. You know what I mean? And for me to even decide to walk away as a man in my particular situation, say I'm going to start over without any of it, get tied up in any of this stuff, and my fortunes turned fast, so it didn't really matter what I lost. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like.
Let me ask you a question, Mark. How long did it take you to reacquire what you lost in the divorce?
It took me maybe a year.
See, you were blessed, my brother. You are an outlier. You are
not even, I'm gonna take it further. I'm taking it further than that. Yes, I was blessed in giving a skill set that allowed me to not allow that to break me. You know what I mean? Because I didn't lay on the couch. On nobody else's couch. You know what I mean? So I can definitely say I'm definitely blessed with a skill set to to use it and to apply it to climb back on top. You know what I mean? So for me with prenups, again, that's why I'm maybe 50-50. I'm like, I haven't lost it all before. you know, but then to me, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like tossed, you know, maybe when I acquire my first 2 million.
At soon to be 55, brother, I ain't starting over for nobody.
Right. I feel you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Listen,
that's why I'm split.
How I was able to bounce back after my first one. Oh, I ain't doing that again, bro. That wasn't easy.
So can I get personal? Do you mind if I get personal?
Yeah, go ahead.
To the people that's been married before, and I think I'll try to ask this as general as possible without getting too personal. When you guys married, because Donna kind of touched on this a minute ago, but when you guys married, were you fully? Oh, I'll just ask like this: were you marrying because of this is what I'm supposed to do, this is where I need to be? Like I feel like we supposed to be here. Like I feel like I love her, so I'm a marry, or I feel like I love him, so I'm gonna marry this person. Or were you like, wow, I'm trying to say it, and it's in my head, but it's not coming out properly. So somebody help me out if you can. But like, was it conditional in a sense? You know what I'm saying? So because I'm trying to see like, you know, what led to you guys marrying a person and then at some point saying, I don't need to be married to this person. And like, if there's some personal stuff in there, I don't want y'all to put that out there. But like, at what point, you know what I'm saying, to make you go to the next situation to say, okay, you know what, now I want to protect my assets to make sure that I am not giving away the farm, even though I may love this person unconditionally.
Well, I think when you've lost your farm to a person that didn't build or buy the farm, and they took the farm, and you had to literally go and start your life over again from ruins, right? So now you're like, hold on, bro. And here's the truth, and you can look this up, just research it. Men lose way more money in divorce than women.
Of course.
Period. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be in the best interest of any man or woman, right? Because don't get it twisted. There are some very slim scenarios where, the man hit the woman up for some alimony and actually won.
Right.
But that's rare.
I know several.
Yeah, that's rare. You know what I'm saying? And again, I had to learn to look at this differently. If you really want to know if a man or a woman loves you and they're in the relationship for you and not what you provide and could potentially provide, put a prenup on the table. Because if you're genuinely in it for love, the prenup is not going to bother you one way or the other.
That's right. That's right.
Because here's the message that you're only going to be offended if you know for a fact you would be the greater benefactor if it were to go wrong.
Yep.
In most cases, right.
That's right.
Because here's the deal. If I truly love you, I'm not offended by a prenup. Know why? Because I don't ever want you to think that I was with you for whatever it is you got.
And there's nothing I'm going to do to give a reason to even get there.
And so my thing would be
that what your mouth say.
No. If my wife, if I had met, when Rachel and I met, and she would have said, "Hey, babe, I love you and all, really want to marry you. I've acquired X, Y, and Z over the years. I want to marry you, but I do believe we should protect ourselves and sign this prenup." I would have said, bring on the prenup. I would have read the conditions of the prenup. As long as that prenup did not say that she would keep all of the assets of what we grew together, I would have no problems. If that prenup said, if divorce happens, you leave with what you came in with, and I leave what I came in with, and the only thing we separate is what we built together, I would sign it without a shadow of a doubt.
That's right.
Instantly.
That's right.
And what that's going to do for
Yes,
her
it
is let her know
Sign
that
in
I
purple.
am not after her resources.
And maybe that's just a mind blockage thing on my part, because I feel like that's telling my soon-to-be significant other that I don't necessarily trust you 100%. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's like, in my mind, I feel like that's what I'm telling you when I'm asking you to sign a prenup, which may not necessarily be the case of how she views it, right?
What you gonna tell yourself if you do get divorced and she take half of everything you earned?
That look right
Um,
there.
No. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to tell myself because I've never been a part of that.
Yeah.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
you know what you're gonna
And-
tell yourself?
Damn
Man,
it!
they told me on this goddamn podcast get a prenup.
I mean, no, not really, because the way that I view things, I
Whose
don't
fault is it?
necessarily.
Whose fault is it? Courtney?
Right. I don't necessarily view. I don't necessarily view possessions and things with that heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in life you lose stuff. Oh well. Do
Yeah,
something else to get it back. Get
losing
over
something
it or
and getting
whatever.
it taken from you are two
It might
totally
be.
different things.
Corey.
Right, but we've all had stuff taken from us. Maybe not on the level of a marriage for me, but we've all had things taken for us, and it's just like, okay, you can get over it, or you can let it affect you. You know what I mean? So that's the way that I look at
I
things.
don't
So
know what you mean.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
I ain't getting
I
over 20 years of
I can't
I
relate.
can't
hard work.
necessarily. I can't. I mean, but it's just a thing, though. It's just a object.
Yeah, some
Like, you
people.
know,
I think Cortland
can't
is saying like
do it.
It's an object.
there's a group of I guess there's a group of there are a group of men in Cortland can attest. I guess he's saying there are a group of men out here that don't really care if that happens. Somebody takes it or doing it, whatever. Some people just I guess they feel like they have the confidence that it don't really mean a whole lot to them. I
Okay.
guess that's what it sounds like, and I mean that's fair.
And listen,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Mark, I encourage them to go with their feeling.
Right.
Right, but I can't
And
honestly say what you're asking me now how I would feel in that instance, just because I've never experienced it. Like once I get in that situation, then I can have an answer for you. Be like, oh snap, you know what I'm saying? But I know, like the way that I am now, like I'm not gonna let that totally affect me. Like if I was in a marriage, I can say this today. Tomorrow I might say something different once I'm married. But today I can say, you know what I'm saying? If I'm in a marriage,
Do it before you get married, though.
You gotta do it before you married.
Yeah, don't wait.
You gotta do it before you married. It don't mean
That's just like you having to go to the emergency room and then you say,
before
you
I'm
know what,
married?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and get that insurance now. They're gonna be like, nigga, it's too late. You ain't got no insurance.
Oh, you talking about the prenup? You talking about
Better
the
go to
prenup?
Grady.
You can get a post-up.
Prenup is insurance.
It's
That's the
insurance.
name. It's insurance.
No, but I get that part. But what I was talking about is like if I was in a situation where the woman that I was with, we ended up divorcing and we didn't have a prenup, and she took half. I'm saying I don't know how it would affect me. At this particular point, I'm gonna be like,
Cousin.
you know, what?
Let me tell you how it's gonna affect you.
Cousin.
It's gonna hurt like hell, and you're gonna be broke.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Cousin.
What?
I have 4 rooms. One of them is the gym. We can take the gym stuff out.
Okay.
I got space for you.
And you know, it's so funny. I never thought, while I was sitting here listening about this is the first time I've ever, when I was listening to, I was kind of reflecting a little bit. This is the first time I ever thought. I never really thought about what was lost, though. So it's so funny about it because I mean, there were some things that were definitely accumulated that I could have probably been a hell of a lot well off, but I just don't recall even thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. What are they actually?
That's why I can feel where he's coming from. You see what I'm saying? I can kind of feel that a little bit. Maybe I'm, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing wrong, Mark. It's nothing
At
wrong.
all.
I know it's not. It's not.
Your
Go
personal
Portland.
experience.
Yeah.
Your personal experience said it didn't hurt enough. That's all that is.
Hey, Kevin, women do that anyway. Women do that anyway, sir.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
So you just not gonna eat what I bought you? Like, no, I want to taste yours. All right. You know what I'm saying?
But no, though, seriously though, when you look at it from the right perspective of a prenup just being insurance, it is literally saying I'm not planning to get sick.
Right.
However, if I do,
do,
I'm not planning to have a car accident. However, if I do, I want my car to be repaired
right,
or replaced.
right,
That's literally what a prenup is.
right.
Right.
Mhm.
It's literally insurance. It says in the prenup, you can design that thing to say what I came in here with and you came in here with, you leave with. What we built together, we will
It's
split.
ours. That's
We'll
us.
Right,
split.
All day.
okay. So this is what I'm saying. So in my mind, right, and I said that's why I said this is probably something in my mind that I have to get over, because in my mind, insurance in my mind, insurance is not affecting anybody else but me. A prenup is basically me saying, in my mind, that I don't totally trust that person 100%, that they're not going to leave me. In my mind.
But you just falsely identified insurance. Insurance covers other people too. Because if you're at fault in the accident, your insurance will cover their damages as well.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm having this. That's why I'm asking these questions to have this conversation, because in my mind I'm not putting it together the way that you just said it. Right. So I'm not looking at it as like, to me, insurance has no feeling. Right. But it's like when I'm dealing with a prenup, I'm dealing with another person who has feelings, and that's probably a part of me, because I always think about the other person in this situation. Like, dang, me asking her for this prenup is probably saying to her that I don't necessarily trust her. Me going to State Farm to get insurance, like I'm not thinking about that it's going to save me from a situation later on down the line. You get what I'm saying?
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I do believe.
But it does though. It actually does, because any event that you have to get repairs, you don't have to come out of the pocket for the full repairs. Just pay your deductible. So, you know,
there's going to be a loss.
Right.
Right.
But it's not going to be a total complete loss.
So yeah, it will be similar to insurance.
Yeah, it's just about wrapping your head around that that thought process, that is not saying that, hey, I'm not asking for this prenup because I don't trust you. I'm just, man, even saying it out loud is hard, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to have a moment of you know what I'm saying? Like, we just have, like, what do you call it when you pull the person in the room and everybody try to talk to them? Like, I'm trying to have that moment, but even saying it out loud is hard for me to even come to terms with that, even though I understand what you guys are saying, and you guys are definitely speaking facts. Because at the end of the day, if I get married, I have my photography video business that I've built, you know, even if they walk away, I don't care if they take money, I don't care if they take cars, I don't care if they take TVs, I don't care about none of that stuff. But if they take my business, if they can have a piece of my business, you know what I'm saying?
Take all your cameras and your lights.
I don't care, but I get more cameras than lights. But I'm talking about business. Like, as my business goes, they got 50% of my business. I don't want them, like, so I can understand what you guys are saying from that. But it's just hard because I've just never been in these situations.
But I'm with you. Hey, but I'm with you, Courtland. I'm with you on the doubt part. It does sound like it's doubt. I will agree.
Right.
On the doubt part.
Yeah.
Courtland, and you're in Florida, Courtland?
I'm in Florida.
So you meet Stephanie. You love her. She's the love of your life. Here's what happens. You pick Stephanie up. Stephanie says, get out of the car. And you're like, dude, we're on the highway. And she says, get out of the car. And she drives off with your car. You have been carjacked by Stephanie, the one you love. That's what happens when you don't get a prenup. You give the person a ride, they hop in your car, and then they tell you to get out and they leave with your car.
God dog it, you school teacher. That's what I'm talking. I like that analogy.
Because I was gonna say I could call the police, but that's a good analogy.
But the law says, hey, y'all were married when this happened, so did you sign a prenup? And you'll say no.
Right.
So you'll be walking off the highway to your house.
Somebody said vindictive people are the ones.
No, I got two cars.
It won't be. You said to the house. It won't be his house.
It won't be your house. Matter of fact, she went down the road to pick up somebody else to put in your car.
He already changed
and
the
drove
lot.
them to your ex house. Now her in his house. Yes.
Dude, listen.
Yeah.
I used to feel exactly like you felt, man. I'm serious. I used to be like, man, you really saying, until I really, really started to analyze it. And I said, what greater example could an individual show to their significant other that they are in it for
Joy.
the long haul and not their assets, is a person that would not fight signing a prenup.
Right.
Yep.
Because a
Yep.
person can tell you they love you all day long. Oh, I love
That's
you.
right.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Really?
Dang, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm
But
so
again, it's a preference. It's not a man. It's not
Yeah, it's not a
mandatory.
mandate. It's not a mandate.
We're not saying everybody on here stop get prenups before you do. We're not saying.
No,
I'm saying
that's not what we're saying.
We're not saying that. You have to
First of
determine
all,
what's
you got to
best.
make more than $2.
No, you don't. Because trust me,
You
brother.
sure don't. You don't want that $2.
They're trying to
Obviously,
leave
he
you
don't
with
want his whole
$4.
$2.
Look, she'll take $1. She'll take $1.75.
You better tell him. You better tell him.
You be
And
working
don't
with
have no
that 25.
children. And don't have no
Oh,
children.
Jesus.
And don't be in no state that requires alimony.
Oh, you get 5 cents. There it is.
And let me just say this to people, both women and men.
Mm-hmm.
If your spouse is healthy and able, do not tell that person they ain't got to work. That's dumb as a box of rocks.
Ooh. You have to keep them in the same condition, regardless of a
Right.
prenup. You have to keep them in the same condition that you kept them in while they were married until they married somebody else. And I know a man and a woman who were married, and he took her last name so she could continue to get that. I think
To get what?
her husband's
Money.
disability or something. She got something from her ex-husband.
I wouldn't mind retiring.
And the new guy took her last name.
So she can keep getting paid? That's
yes,
tragic.
she could. Yes.
I would like to be in position to retire somebody.
Yeah, in certain states you have to publicize your marriage.
You want to retire somebody, Mark?
I would like to be in a position that I can do that, because if she retired, I'm probably retired. We can move around.
So that means they got to change the law.
Evan,
all right, y'all. It is 10:18. Although we love these conversations. See, we love these conversations. We love the productivity of them, the helpfulness of them. Listen, you take information, you take what works for you. We're not here to tell anybody what they have to do, what they should do. These are just suggestions, recommendations, and like I always say,
next week.
Like I always say, the experiences that I've been through may be good to help someone else. The experiences you've been through may be good to help someone else. So that's what we're here for, building healthy, growing, productive relationships. We appreciate you all. We made the 100 comment mark again tonight. That's great. That's exciting to hear and see. We have two more episodes left of the It's Your Fault series. And let's again, how we said, if y'all want to see this go on further, if y'all have more discussions y'all would like to have, let us know. You can inbox any of us, and we can see what we can do to work this thing out to continue to come together. Closing comments, y'all. Jimmy had to go. So thanks, Jimmy. We really appreciate you. Closing comments.
Yes, add it to your calendar. Miss Joy. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mark, what you got?
I guess I was just gonna say, just kind of like piggyback what you said earlier. With the amount of or the different amounts of 5 people here, we're gonna have 5 different perspectives, 5 different ways of looking at things. There's no right or wrong. I think the fact that this is definitely a good learning experience for everyone, and just see what works for you, add it to your toolbox. Whatever doesn't work for you, then just kind of like throw it out. Whatever works, use it. Just don't sit here and start liking some of this stuff. Like, what's going to really make it go, y'all? I'll be honest with you. I'm a numbers guy, so I'm gonna be honest with you. It really looks nice when, you know, full participation is great. Keep leaving the comments, but hit the like button so we can get people outside of our whatever this thing is, whatever you want to call it, right? Just keep liking it because it's gonna push us out even further. We'll get more. We just have build more momentum and be able to bring good content. So just keep hitting the like button and sharing this. I wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Sorry, Corlin, what you got?
I'm just waiting to see how Joy is breaking down everybody over here.
The show's hilarious.
Right. Hey, that TV show is coming soon, Joy. Look for it. So it's on your favorite YouTube channel. Uniquely made. Coming soon. On the basis of the conversation that we're having today, I really think that we have to get back to the basis of what love actually is. And trying to understand how to unconditionally care for and love our significant others or our partners or whomever we choose to be with without making it very, very transactional. And also if we are in a situation where we feel like there's no good versions of the opposite sex, I'm not laughing at that. There's no good versions of the opposite sex. I think that we have to maybe take a look in the mirror and understand if it's something that we have not necessarily dealt with yet within ourselves that we need to deal with that will allow us to see a different value in a person so that we don't keep running into the same situation.
Miss Corey, be the educator.
Right. There are good men and good women out there. We have to choose. They may not make as much as you. They might be a little shorter.
That's non-negotiable for y'all. Hush, cut it out.
They might not have both their
Not true. Not true. Not true, Mark. Let her finish her closing statement. Go ahead, Corey.
Okay. All right.
They might not have both their arms.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
However, and you might like being so. However, I think if we step outside of our box and just get to know somebody, just get to know them, forget about all the other things society is telling you you need or you should want, and think about what you need and what you can do, what unconditional love is. And if you don't know unconditional love, and I understand it's hard to get, but go to counseling. Ding, ding, ding. Go to counseling, fix yourself, get yourself together, and then go ahead and step out there. They need that third. Oh, hey.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, let me type that.
Hey. Hey. Look, and that's on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. Hey.
Well, unconditional love, you don't need that.
Third arm, though.
You don't need that, Joy, for unconditional love.
You don't need that, brother.
We're not there yet. Did we not say we weren't there?
You don't need that, Corlin.
You don't love unconditionally. You don't love unconditionally. Amen.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Thank you, everyone, again. We
because I'm gonna love you if your stuff is sewn up like the hem of a garment. I'm gonna love you.
Next week, Tuesday, whatever, Corlin. Next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will see you guys here. Follow the YouTube channel, please. The Real Life Relationship Growth. That is where all the lives are taking place. Until Mr. Technical helped me spread out a little bit further since my Facebook page was hacked. All right, love y'all. See y'all next week.
Well, yeah.